Okay, no time to waste, straight into it. Welcome back to another Foxy Games UK news video. If you like the work I do here, go ahead, like, subscribe, hit notification, follow Foxy Games via X, formerly Twitter, at FoxyGames_UK for more informative gaming news, rumour, opinion and gameplay. All applicable links are available in this video's description. So, if you've been looking forward to an online multiplayer, The Last of Us, i.e. Factions 2, unfortunately this video is going to be disappointing to you. Naughty Dog has officially cancelled The Last of Us multiplayer project because it didn't want to become a solely live service games studio. This story courtesy of Eurogamer.net. So following reports that the development on Naughty Dog's long-awaited The Last of Us multiplayer game had been slowed down earlier this year, the studio had announced it's officially pulling the plug on the project, saying it didn't want to become a solely live service game studio. Naughty Dog's multiplayer game was initially planned to be part of The Last of Us Part 2, but the studio announced it was separating the two halves in 2019, which obviously turned out to be a mistake. After years of relative silence on its progress, studio co-head Neil Druckmann emerged in January to confirm that we would see more of The Last of Us Factions 2 later this year, but instead May brought the news that the project needed more time. Unfortunately, shortly after a report from Bloomberg's Jason Schreier claimed Destiny developer Bungie, which had been individually assessing many of Sony's games as a service projects since being acquired by the company, had raised concerns about The Last of Us multiplayer's ability to keep players engaged over a long period of time, resulting in Sony scaling back the team to just a small group while it evaluated the project's direction. So now, 7 months later, The Last of Us multiplayer spin-off has officially been cancelled. Here's a quote. "We realize many of you have been anticipating news around the project that we've been calling The Last of Us Online." Naughty Dog wrote in a statement confirming the news on its website. "There's no easy way to say this. We've made the incredibly difficult decision to stop developing on that game. We knew the news would be tough for many, especially our dedicated The Last of Us Factions community who have been following our multiplayer ambitions ardently. We're equally crushed at the studios. We're looking forward to putting it in your hands." Naughty Dog says that while The Last of Us Online gameplay proved to be both refined and satisfying during pre-production stage of development, in ramping up to full production, the massive scope of the ambition became clear. Essentially, the studio says the resources needed to support post-launch content for years to come would have severely impacted its ability to develop future single-player games, and when faced with a choice between becoming a solely live service game studio or continuing to focus on single-player narrative games that have really defined Naughty Dog's heritage, well, it chose single-player gaming. We are immensely proud of everyone at the studio that touched this project. The learnings and investments in technology from this game will carry us into how we develop projects and will be invaluable in the direction we are headed as a studio. We have more than one ambitious brand new single player game that we're working on here at Naughty Dog. Let's repeat that. We have more than one ambitious AAA brand new single player game that we're working on here at Naughty Dog, and we cannot wait to share more about what comes next when we're ready. So, there's been lots of rumours about what that game could be. Certainly not The Last of Us Part 3. I don't believe that's even, in full development at all. That might be even a next-gen console release, PlayStation 6 for instance. However, there has been mumblings, rumours about a medieval type game and a sci-fi type game, a space adventure. We'll have to see. The studio is yet to share any details about these brand new game single player projects, but we do know it's working on PlayStation 5 remaster The Last of Us Part 2 for launch on the 19th of January next year. It adds, among things, new roguelike survival modes called No Return and some other things as well. So there you have it. Factions 2, The Last of Us Online, cancelled because Naughty Dog does not want to be invested in this over the years as a live service studio. They just want to continue with what they know and what they do best, which is single player, strong narrative games. And I, for one, am very, very, very happy about that decision, because to be honest with you, I know a lot of people were looking forward to Factions, and for you people, yes, this is disappointing. So what Naughty Dog should have done is made it a add-on to the single player game instead of trying to separate this thing, because that's added confusion. It's blown up and made it overly ambitious, and there wasn't the confidence that the game was going to sustain over a long period of time. Yeah, so next time, Naughty Dog, when you do The Last of Us Part 3, just add an online multiplayer component, or perhaps add an online multiplayer component to The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered next year at some point. How hard can it be? You know, you've already got the groundwork there. You don't have to make a complete whole new game, just a multiplayer segment, roguelike, have, you know, 4 players in a roguelike situation. But what say you? Let's continue the discussion cautiously in the comments, as that brings us to the end of the video. Just like, subscribe, hit notification, comment regularly on videos, and you can help Foxy Games UK reach more gamers, so feel free to share the video. And you may also want to consider supporting Foxy Games UK via Patreon, because, well, we're like family now, link in the description. But that concludes our time together on this Friday. Until next time, consumers first, play games, not corporations.